Hey guys, Joel's back with another reasoning sesh where I challenge the status quo of the wisdom of the world and the church by diving deep into ancient scriptures and applying them practically to situations in our present day. And today I'm going to be addressing the topic of the heavenly hosts and how we can effectively dispatch angels.
Come now and let us reason together. Come now, we can talk it over.
But before I begin, I gotta say, if you like these videos, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you haven't already, because this momentum is accelerating and we are breaking through into a new way of doing things, into Earth 2.0. But in order to do that, we have to realize our authority and just what kind of disposal we have at our hands with the heavenly hosts. You know, it says that of the angels, he says, who makes his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. And when we're talking about Yahweh Tsabaoth, or Yahweh of hosts, we're actually talking about those hosts of the armies of heaven, literally the angelic beings. But wait, if the kingdom of heaven has all these angelic beings at their disposal, like, wouldn't it be no contest to win against the kingdom of darkness? What gives here? Like, why did it take Daniel 3 weeks just to communicate with the angel that was trying to bring victory through, even though his words were heard on the very first day he prayed? What's the real breaking point here? In the 103rd Tehillim, it says, "Bless Yahweh, you his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word." So they don't just do anything that we send them to do. They actually only act on the voice of Yahweh and his word. Bless you, Yahweh, all you his hosts, you ministers of his that do his pleasure. And when we're talking about Yahweh, we're talking about closing that cycle of cyclical justice, that harvest that the people who've sown their seeds actually deserve to reap, whether they be good or bad. But based on the situation that we're experiencing presently in fighting the kingdom of darkness, we can say that the seeds that the kingdom of darkness has planted is due for a harvest. And with angels being the reapers of the harvest, it would be clear that they're the ones to bring to pass that harvest for whoever it's due. But wait, why would we be involved in the first place? It's because we have free will and we're able to command, based on the authority of the living logos, these angels to actually carry out these harvests. Angels will just do as they're commanded, and even if one of us from the kingdom of light is actually being beaten up by the kingdom of darkness, just being overpowered and subdued and beaten into submission, they can't do anything. They'll literally just stand there like their hands are tied, unable to do anything until we actually enforce our own authority. And that's the authority that Christ gave to us as he's seated at the right hand of the Father Source Creator. And we, being his body, are actually in that same seat, far above all principality and power and might and dominion and every name that is named, not only in this aeon, but also in that which is to come. All things were put under his feet, and it was given to him to be the head over all things, to the church, or the ecclesia, literally, which is his body, the fullness of him that fills all in all. So when we step into that authority, we can literally command angels and actually see them carry out these things in a way that could never be realized in the physical world. And this ties into a really profound vision I had the other night, where I was literally all of a sudden like in the audience watching a stage play, and on the stage there were divisions of angels, and they all had to do something in order to carry out whatever the agenda was for the kingdom of heaven. But we in the audience actually had to direct the scene. And so I remember us all standing up, and I had a staff in my hand, and a bunch of people sitting next to me had staffs as well, and we just raised it out and held it out, stretched out over towards the stage. And as soon as we did that, the angels just dispersed and actually carried out whatever they had to do in that scene. They were so well organized, they were so efficient, they just wiped out the kingdom of darkness like nothing. But it was up to us, the audience, to actually direct them and to enforce our authority in this living logos, the risen Christ. And that, my friends, is the true power that we have all as individuals when we tap in and submit ourselves to the divine providence that is in the living logos. Once we acknowledge that as master, that can direct our lives and actually bring to pass new prosperity, new abundance, new possibilities like we could have never imagined before, but just lining up the dots from a perspective that we couldn't imagine. just beyond this world, beyond anything physical, because our egos can't even comprehend anything past what it's already been programmed with. But Source is already above that, and Source can download these things into you like never before, like it ain't no thing. And before you know it, you'll be walking in that new paradigm, in that new state of being, in that new probability source field. And that will just manifest all around you as your best life yet. So tap in and literally manifest the utopia that you've known you've come here to live, that you really deserve. Not to be manipulated, not to be controlled with fear, not to be coerced into the agenda through predictive programming and trauma-based mind control. All of that fails when it comes under the foot of authority of the risen Christ. So I love you guys. I'll check you in another video. Joel signing out once again. Agape. Salaam. Namaste. Shalom.